So, any questions you have for me? Turn the tables since you're the pro.
Oh, yeah, sure. I guess the one question I would ask you is, um, what what drives you to, um, write Bree's character the way that you write Bree's character?
Mm,
'Cause I love her so much, and I just want to know where she came from in from you.
yeah. So feel free to like probe, but
Okay.
um I always I love young adult fiction and action stories.
I do too, yeah.
Um but I think it's like a love hate sometimes because sometimes the characters don't seem realistic to me. Right?
Mhm.
They're doing all these amazing things which you want them to do, but
Yes.
they're not actually acknowledging and dealing with the stuff that they're experiencing, like the trauma, the danger, the fear that anybody in that situation, and probably especially a young person,
Right.
would experience. So to me, it was like a fine line of she had to be immature, especially at the start of the series, because she was just a teenager.
Mhm.
Um, but I still wanted her to have the sparks
Mhm.
of her grit
Yeah.
and definitely her intelligence,
Yeah.
and like being a person who would pull the thread, but maybe at first was afraid to pull the thread.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the starting point that I had. And then putting her in these situations where she has to make a choice about how she shows up
Mhm.
and if she's willing to make that leap,
Mhm.
um, was like very purposeful,
Mhm.
and exposing herself to potentially more pain in making those choices. So I don't know if that answers your question,
It
but
does. I love that. Yes, it does.
yeah. So there are just so many times when people just like are fully formed as these action heroes
Yes.
and you don't see them struggle with it. And I think the struggle is really, really actually the beauty of the story.
That's the
Um,
part that I love about her is that when she is vulnerable, I think vulnerability is the beauty of people. I mean, that's when you get to really know a person.
yeah.
And I think where I really identified with her is, when you first meet her, she has all of these barriers built up, right? And
Mhm.
that's me in spades. I mean, I had barriers built up to protect myself, which rightfully so, but you do that, and but once she starts to let some of those down for her friends, and she's scared of doing that. I mean, you can feel that, right? That she's internally saying, should I be doing this? Should I not be doing this?
Mhm.
Your friend, do I trust this person? Do I not trust this person? All of that kind of thing. I mean, I think we all go through that to some extent, or some of us do, and you did that so beautifully in the books. I mean, I think the way that you do that, where she's thinking about that, and that's why I just love how you create characters
Oh,
so
thank you.
much.
It's what one of my favorite scenes in the agency is when she's upset and she runs into the rain in the night and she goes to the Poppin statue and Dash follows her and
Yes.
kind of chides her.
Yes.
and saying like, "Hey, we're your family now. You have to let us take care of you." I loved writing that scene. I love it still when I read it.
Yeah,
Because that's, I think, one of the first times when she does um acknowledge that she needs to let them in.
exactly. Yes. I
Yeah.
love that too. I love that too.
Cool.
Yes.
Any last things you would share with anybody who's about to read the book?
Um, just get ready to not put the book down because it's going to be hard to put the book down. So set aside some time and 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 tell Monica to write fast because we want the next book to come out now.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Thank you so much for joining us, Melissa. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm
Mm,
honored.